Hey, there's going to be minimal editing in this video, but trust me, most if not all the information you'll need is going to be in this video. Hello, I'm Ketchup Sauce. I'm going to clarify some things about the last video and things in general. Let's get straight to the facts. I made a mistake at the end of the video when I thought Bison Shadaloo 666 was Mad Gear vs. Shadaloo. I assumed the person who went by something Shadaloo was in the SFW vegan community and is an annoying scumbag was also this other guy who went by something Shadaloo was in the SFW vegan community and is an annoying scumbag. Crazy assumption, I know. But I also didn't look deep enough to find Mad Gear's Twitter, which would probably have confirmed that they were in fact two different people that M. Bison himself would vaporize without thought. Bison Shadaloo 666 is the one that posted CP to that mutant site. Mad Gear vs. Shadaloo is just a dishonest pig. I also need to make a clarification regarding why Pow Pink follows Lolicon and feral Pokemon artists on Pixiv. I have been told by her friend, Mr. Ansatsuken, that she follows the artists I featured in my video because she separates the art from the artist. More specifically, moe/kawaii seems to be her favorite artistic genre after pixel art, and there is a gigantic overlap between moe/kawaii stuff and lolly art in many ways. Thus, it's natural that the artist she follows would oftentimes also draw that kind of stuff. That's really about it. Not any mental gymnastics necessary. She said she was skinned lolicons alive before. Likewise, there's similar people who would make similar statements regarding Hitler or Nazis, but yet follow Kanye West and enjoy most of his music regardless. Same concept. That was an exaggeration to make a point, but again, it's not that strange to follow other creators, even from fetishists you dislike. I followed Bison on Twitter for some time just to surveil him. So she followed Lolicons for the art style then. For the list of their art, yes. Pink's entire Steam library is just pixel art games. She pretty much never touches a game unless it's pixel art. Most of those artists are pixel artists, and she enjoys pixel art. For example, Lolicon content isn't 100% of what those people make. So you're saying she's exaggerating how much she hates Lolicons, and maybe even Lolicon itself? No. She separates people from some of the art they make. She hates them and some of their art, and just ignores the Lolicon if their art style appeals to her. Partially wrong. If they have other art that's not even Lolicon necessarily, how is it so difficult to understand? Holy shit. Before I explain how fucking stupid this sounds by itself, this was confirmed somewhat true by a screenshot Mr. Ansatsuken gave me. I explained that one can follow an artist for their art ABC by ignoring art XYZ. That's literally what I do. That's why I follow so many Lolicon artists. Sadly, the Japanese always lump chippies and lollies together. So already, she's exaggerating how much she hates Lolicons if she's willing to follow one, or two, or many, just because the non-Lolicon art they do is too good to pass up on. I did check the galleries of the artists I featured in my video. 15 of Choryuni's 54 posts are feral Pokemon porn, something Pow Pink has said she hates on multiple occasions. 15 may not seem like much, but that's just the feral Pokemon. Choryuni also made Shotokan and regular feral, upping the total to 24 out of her 54 posts being art Pow Pink hates. One of those illustrations depicts a baby. Even if only 44% of the work was offensive to her, not only would that be an unacceptable amount to most anti-Lonely people, but Choryuni hasn't posted in 6 years. So she isn't following them for new art. Looking at the first things she would have seen in this gallery, I would think she'd be disgusted and not follow someone who says on their profile, "I draw Shota, Lolly, Kimono, and other cute characters." Half of the content here she despises. Separating the art from the artist would be quite the task in this situation. Not to mention, this isn't the only example. Till is another Shotokan artist. 25 out of their 96 most recent posts would discuss Pow Pink. Again, 25% seems infrequent enough, but I'd make the very easy assumption that a person like her would not follow this artist. But she does, because she ignores what she is seeing. If these galleries aren't enough proof, how about the gallery of the remaining Pixiv account I addressed in my video? Gumi's gallery. Gumi is a Pokemon feral artist. 58 out of their 96 most recent posts is feral Pokemon. Do I need to repeat that she specifically doesn't like this? 60% sounds like most to me. Possibly most of the entire gallery is full of Pokemon feral. At this point, I find it very hard to believe that she's willing to follow artists that not only advertise themselves as specializing in unsavory art, but also make enough of it that any sane person wouldn't want to see more of it. Now, I know Pow Pink is not a sane person. Not at all. But Khalil expects me to believe she's willing to ignore a ridiculous amount of gross material despite her public views, because she separates the art from the artist. Answer me this. Kanye West is, I don't know, he's crazy, but for some time he's said he was a white supremacist and a Nazi. Is half of his discography about white supremacy? No? Oh, okay. So we can separate the art from the artist there, right? She hates Pokemon feral, and she's following a Pokemon feral artist. I think you can't really separate the art from the artist here. This is what the artist does. If she hates Pokemon feral, she would not follow this artist. But she does, because she separates the art from the artist. No. Nobody. You know what I think? I think she's a poser. I think she's a performative skank. Someone who hates Pokemon feral doesn't follow a Pokemon feral artist. I don't think she gives as much of a fuck as she says she does. I didn't come to these conclusions on a whim. It's not just because she's a fan of Ogaki. It's not just because she made the Ogaki collection on MFFA. It's not just because she posted the most long gone out of everyone on AK1. It's not just because she made some herself. It's not just because she follows all these lolicons on multiple platforms, as confirmed by her own words. It's because of all of these things combined that I have come to the conclusion that she's a virtue signaler. She talks a big game, but at every turn, she shoots herself in the foot. I think that's a pretty objective assessment. Now, I'd like to address a comment Magyar vs. Shadowmoon left on my Pow Pink video that needs serious debunking. That sure was some nice slander, but yeah, everything said about me was somewhat incorrect. Not just the massive mistakes at both 41 miss and the end part, but also how you represented my Discord messages. Also, pasting the messages I was replying to in the same capture reliably is common decency rather than slightly changing the context for each one. It's not that hard. I didn't need to do that actually. That's not common decency. I gave the correct context. What are you talking about? I don't need any more context. I don't need any more context for why you implied that you would take foes to court over this bullshit. When you said why you were implying this in the same message. I don't need any more context, you stupid cunt. You misrepresented the whole AK1 power struggle while accusing Pow of posting 72 lolicon content, which was not a rule previous to your banning. I did not misrepresent the AK1 power struggle, as you call it. What I said in the video is what happened. Pow Pink contacted Anderson Kenya 1. Lied about what happened in the AK1 staff server, got given administrator position again, and banned Noxy, SDK123, and Old Gamer, then removed everyone else who was staff from their positions. Ask any of the former staff, and they'll tell you the same. It does not matter when the rule was written. The entire staff proceeded as if the rule existed for God knows how long. The rule that lolicon was prohibited was in effect, written down or not. Therefore, Pow Pink breaking that rule in spades would constitute a ban. Your argument that me waiting for the official valid reasons for her ban is nonsense, as I should have just watched your videos. But the public here can see those videos are an overdrawn struggle containing little to no actually viable information. Those are bad videos. If you were to watch my original AK1 video, you retard, you would have seen that I back up my claims. Mismanagement of site categories, Link Gamer's false ban, the staff not enforcing the ban they had on lolicon, all backed up with evidence. I would still implore you to watch it, but seeing as you have no intention of acting in good faith, I don't really care what your response to it is. It is the former mod's mistakes to not publicly provide the valid and convincing POW ban reasons in the first place. The AK1 staff have never put out a public statement on why a staff member left staff, was removed from staff, or later got banned. Not only has that never happened, not only is that not necessary, but what the fuck does it matter that you, a fucking nobody on AK1, who has admitted he does not need the site, requires a statement from the staff on why this bitch was banned for publicly available reasons that you could have asked the staff team to give you? I can only assume it's because those did in fact not exist, which explains how she got it back so easily. Said mods themselves referring to the video instead of doing their sole job. There were in fact reasons for her ban that did exist that I am not going to repeat ad infinitum. You know why, and I know why. Most people know why. I've said the reason already. You're smart enough to remember when I did. Pow Pink got back so easily because she contacted the owner of the entire website. Add on to that fact that he is completely out of touch, and suddenly it becomes very clear why Anderson Kenya 1 allows the site to be run to the ground by what he sees as just a former admin. While we're on that topic, let's get into why Pow Pink was even demoted in the first place. Again, because I'm replying to someone who needs to be spoon-fed information. Pow Pink gave a user a warning poll for what they saw as suicide baiting in the AK1 chat box. the user already had 2 warning points on their account, so a third warning point meant the user was banned. The rest of the staff saw it as just venting, so they reversed the decision. Because of this mistake, the staff decided to demote her. After being told about this, Pow Pink shut down and left the staff server of her own accord. Pow Pink getting demoted was possibly supposed to be part of an announcement about moderation rules they were going to have after the mistake Pow Pink made, among other past mistakes previous staff have made. They explicitly did not ban her for this mistake. They banned her about 2 weeks later after I got into a call with SDK123 and Old Gamer after I showed SDK my original AK1 video. It was for an aforementioned completely different matter. But yeah, what we will call the Shadow Moon mix-up definitely show you do not actually do your research. Laughable when producing a 1 hour video. You think 58 minutes is 1 hour? Really? As the other guy is basically Mugen Satan, who has 10 plus years in the hobby and is already banned everywhere. The Death Knight is too kind by saying full weight whole thing. The Death Knight, by the way, has schizophrenia. I did not say moderator like that any time in the video. He needs to take his meds. I would advocate changing activity altogether and doing something more productive with your time rather than spread misinformation. You're right, Matt here. I should do something more productive. It's what I'm doing right now, actually. Telling the truth about this whole situation. Say, Matt here, who did all this research on AK1? Was that you or was that me? Who contacted the staff to get answers? You or me? I'm the one who's gathered all this information together and made it digestible for the Mugen community and YouTube. All you've been doing is ingesting koala cock for the past month and a half and being 100% confident about almost every single word you type out, even when you get proven wrong in broad daylight. Keep in mind as well, I don't take orders from you. I didn't make this video for you fucking mistake. I made it because I have an obligation to correct what I got wrong. You have no power over me. I'll let you in on a little something. When you watch the rest of this video, if you watch the rest of this video, if you're even watching, when you're doing your little false report that won't do anything, I just want you to know that I own you. If you even bother watching this video, you're gonna misrepresent it. You're gonna say something's wrong when it's been proven right, and you're gonna stay stuck in your little fantasy world where Pow Pink is just an autistic, quirky young lady who's been victimized by every community she's in and has done nothing wrong, especially nothing that deserves a spotlight, like her bullying a 14-year-old. She's never lied to me, her best friend. Why would she lie about people she hates? I know y'all are gonna do all that because you're a predictable little shit. Do me a favor. Sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. You know exactly who I'm talking to this time. Now, I'm going to address miscellaneous statements that also need debunking. This portion of a long comment is from Vicat. This is honestly really harsh. This info gives me now a reason to check every file I download, but I don't fully trust this information. How does virus work? Is it an exe you need to crank? Is it an exploit from the Mugen itself, or how does this virus work? There's barely any information about this virus because viruses can't work just by downloading them. That's not how viruses work. If you could please explain, or the victim explain how this virus triggered, please explain. It would be appreciated, as information is gold. Christ. Viruses normally cannot infect you just because you downloaded the file. It usually requires one of these. You execute a malicious.exe. You run the malicious.bat.ser.com. You enable macros in the malicious office file. You run a program that loads a malicious DLL, or there is a real exploit in the software. Rare but possible since WinMugen. It is extremely unlikely that just downloading the .zip infects you. Just placing a character in Mugen infects you without running anything. A normal .def or .sprite file magically executes code. If it truly is an exploit, it is information that needs to be reported immediately to everyone. This sounds way too set up and way too coincidental to be this way. Especially this part. If she was never admit, no one would get that. Well, okay. Christ almighty. If Pow Pink was never admin, no one would have got that virus. That's not what I fucking said. That's not what I said. Way later in the video, I'll talk about that. But that's not what I said. I don't know how you watched the video and got something completely different. I don't know how that happened. That's not what I said. That's way too suspicious. Because regardless, someone is an admin or not, doesn't make you immune to viruses. What if this have happened regardless? Your logic is illogical. Your fucking speech is illogical. Jesus Christ. You sound a bit rushed about that. Here's what Noxy has told me. Just for clarification, tell me about what happened again. All those files got uploaded by that account. I downloaded them all and tested them. And then later, I noticed stuff happening from my account without me doing anything. Clear sign that someone else had access. So you downloaded them all, and sometime recently after, you got hacked. Yeah, and considering the proximity and the suspicious nature of those uploads, it seems like the most obvious source of that happening. Noxy said the same thing a month ago, when the incident initially happened. She was hacked. I don't think she willingly gave her account permissions to some random guy and a random server eater that would then eat the entire server. It does not benefit her at all. There's no reason to do that. People who think there's this conspiracy that Pow Pink did it or Noxy did it intentionally to just nuke the server, you're fucking stupid. This benefits no one. I am now going to go over multiple Discord messages that were sent in the AK1 server by Mr. Ansatsuken and Magir vs. Shadowloo while I was talking to them about the Pow Pink video. How did I misrepresent what you said in those shitty debates? I need to make a video of clips of your clips to debunk them. It's not worth it, and I don't want to give the factually incorrect video oxygen. But a simple example is I said Pow is right on principle, meaning in that situation, Pow who took a principled stance is correct. And you deform it to Pow Pink has principle, and proceed to argue against that, which isn't what I said. Pow is right on principle, and Pow has principles are not mutually exclusive statements. When I made a rebuttal to Pow having principles, it was because I was trying to disprove Pow being right on principle by saying, what principles? My reply could have worked whether you said one or the other. But I'll humor you anyway. Pow Pink going against the former staff's wishes and allowing Lolicon because she's anti-censorship falls flat because there are other websites she could upload to. She can make her own website using Google Sites free of charge, as shown in the Pow Pink video that I know you watched. You should take multiple English classes if your comprehension is this low. I even have proof Pow Pink should have known Lolicon was prohibited, and at best, she ignored that fact. Being a high-ranking part of the staff, administrator, you'd think she would pay attention to something important like those messages and say, Oh, I've posted some of that. Do you want me to take it down? She wants, or wanted, to post Lolicon on AK1 specifically because all that chibi porn being on her favorite Mugen website is convenient for her. Not because of some grand crusade for Lolicon preservation. You then say I'm white knighting for her and glazing, then provide unrelated clips, none of them being me white knighting or glazing for her. I even called on people to provide examples of me doing it, examples that were not provided. You not understanding on record why I'm taking her side while we don't like each other shows you're immature. Y'all want to see examples of Mad Gear white knighting for Pow Pink? You want to see me do it again? Doesn't matter that it wasn't brought up in the past. I'm bringing it up now. You offended her like you knew her for years. Oh wait, you have known each other for years. You guys seem like pretty close acquaintances, if not friends. Even if there was some kind of time gap in communication, you seem to treat each other about the same. Almost as if Pow Pink doesn't have a real problem with you or what you're doing. And hasn't. Ever. Went and booted up an MVS YouTube channel just to correct you in the comments, to witness that several people actually already did, including an account I can assume is Viket himself. His name's right there. Are you actually retarded? I thanked them all since they also had the mental fortitude to watch the entire video. Are you the Death Knight? No, who's that? Someone else who commented. I can't see your comment. Would be funny if from the 10 people watching the video, I was also 3 of them. But I don't have that kind of time to waste. Right after this message, Mad Gear will post that comment you've already seen that was full of complete horseshit. What I'd like to address is the last message here. I never suggested he had an alt account. I asked if he was someone else because he said he commented and I couldn't see the comment he made. Also, Mad Gear, you have plenty of time to make alt accounts to harass people actually. You spend hours arguing with people about Lolicon on multiple occasions. You have a lot of time to waste. You could just do the same thing you've been doing on another account. About the remark about the views on the video, here's how many views the video had around the time he said this. Looks like a lot more than 10. Here's how many views it got in 5 days and 5 hours. Funny joke, Mad Gear. Too bad it's not true. I don't really owe you jack shit, but out of integrity, if that happens, sure. I will still report the videos for harassment and misinformation, and so long as they keep containing harassment and misinformation, still, you should be more worried about your credibility than your integrity. It's clear from the last video, you know nothing about me or Pow, because you know nothing about the adult side of Mugen. How could I have known is not a great excuse when reporting, making a video about something. I don't need to know anything about the adult side of Mugen to know Pow Pink is a virtue-signaling, very horny, power-hungry woman child. I also don't need that knowledge to know you're a weeaboo technical artist whose free time is spent either being anti-censorship or being horny. That's what I knew before I uploaded the video. Now I know you're an at least 30-year-old man who might have a kid who has a correction fetish. Did not need to download one SFW character for that information. Also, this is just me, but God forbid you have to punish those kids. I do not want to think of what you're thinking of when you're punishing your children. I don't trust you with children, okay? I don't. Lolicon or not, you have a correction fetish too? Yeah, I don't trust you. I don't trust you with your fucking cousin. I don't at all. But that's just me. The furry dude? I was informed the video was full of shit, Lamau. No, if I recall, it was another one who said they had years of proof of you posting CP before a several-hour debate of me reading because fictional content is not CP. Carl Katsup, the furry dude, did post a new video longer, a full hour. Not a full hour. And full of incorrect data. Mostly about you, but at the end, he shat himself by ranting about who you associate with, me, and started listing my many crimes, except those were Bison chatting with 666's crimes. He ain't ready to be a journalist yet. I guess he also did the whole stalking you on all socials and services to assume guilt by association of who you follow. It would be pretty damaging if he had any credibility in the first place, or left. Not gonna lie, it was pretty brave of him to even insult the AK-1 owner. This is how I know you don't have a clue about what you're talking about. You're real brave insulting the owner of AK-1 like that. Anderson Kenya 1 rarely does anything with the site. Ask anyone. AK-1 hasn't even posted to his YouTube account in 10 months. He's a recluse. He's not gonna do a damn thing to me. And he never will. I'm banned, remember? By Pow Pink. What's AK-1 himself gonna do? IP ban me? Oh yeah, like that's worked before. Kemi's been banned how many times? She's been IP banned on how many accounts? Let me get this through your thick skull, Matt here. I've been on AK-1 muting community longer than you. I've posted there more than you. I know more about Anderson Kenya 1 than you. You don't know what you're talking about. I am objectively superior on this topic compared to you, and you talk like you have all the information when you don't. Christ. Are you for real? He confused you with Shadow? Bro. Yeah, too bad I'm a nasty ass furry like he is, so it kinda loses the point. Trash versus garbage. Trash versus Pow Pink. Nasty ass doesn't do you justice. I don't simp for characters as much as you do. I'm not nearly as open about my fetishes as you are. And I do not talk about masturbating as publicly as you do. I don't talk about porn in general as much as you do. Most of all, however, I'm not into shit. Ew! Which makes this interaction I found very, very troubling. I'm also not into any of this crap. What the fuck? I'm a furry. You're a fur fag. We are not the same. If you want my read on the situation, I think you just sided with the other mods uncritically. Doesn't understand they built the castle behind the mods, and that's why they got their ass beat. Somehow think the Discord hack was indirectly your fault and was to make you his ultimate victim to take down. He doesn't compute you might follow orders of fish you do not like, or that there might be alliances of principle. Does he know one of the other mods got the server hacked? I'd have assumed it's a child too from the tone, but the channel is at least over 8 years old, so he's just slow. Nothing wrong with that. It was Noxy. Noxy was part of the old staff team. It wasn't even me, bro. Yeah, but apparently you allowed someone back into the AK-1 file, and Noxy got the virus from that person. What? Dude, no, where did you get that? That's not what I know, Noxy clicked on those fake links and got their Discord account hacked. Where the fuck did you get that from? Like on Discord only. Cause in the site she was banned. I banned all the ex-mods due to their behavior. I actually feel good to save people the trouble to watch that video. You just fucking lied about the video to this stupid bitch, you piece of shit. You watched the video. You assumably watched the entire video, and you completely fuck up what I said. Let me repeat what I said verbatim, since I'm clearly addressing a middle school dropout. If she wasn't admin again, if this mute dumbass AK-1 didn't allow Pow Pink back in and make her admin, the UTTP wouldn't be here. and they wouldn't be sharing virus-infected files, and Noxie wouldn't have downloaded one of them and got a virus, and the AK1 Discord server wouldn't be destroyed. That's my logic. I would say it's Pow Pink's fault. I didn't say Pow Pink allowed the UTTP in and Noxie got a virus from them. And Noxie didn't get a virus from a Discord link. You're both entirely wrong. I've already addressed what actually happened. Mad Gear, you lobotomized ape. I said my logic was Pow Pink being administrator again was the first domino in the sequence of events that led to the AK1 server getting nuked. I did not say Pow Pink directly caused it at all. I said in a way, it's Pow Pink's fault. Any person with common sense would think all those steps to get from A to B makes it hard to take seriously. That was the point. It was a bit. Even the UTTP indirectly caused this. If we want to be blunt, Noxie not having good enough security made it possible for the AK1 server to get nuked through, as already discussed, hacking. Got it? I should not have to go through all this bullshit to explain videos that are easy enough to understand if you actually paid some attention. Like, despite being defeated, they kept spreading lies and shit about me, and then get surprised when I just do not want to speak to them, and kick them off the site due to this, claiming I abused power when I had permission from the site owner to ban them. Fun fact. I got permission from the site owner to make this horrific decision doesn't mean anything when the site owner is more out of touch than the average user, let alone the staff, one of whom he picked out himself. Of course, AK1 let you do whatever you want. If any of the staff pulled a stunt like this, making up a sob story to gain trust and allow complete horseshit to occur, he'd still do it. If I were in your place, I would have banned him. I'm not saying do it, but that's what I would have done. They were the ones who abused power. No, they didn't. They literally didn't. They banned me for bullshit reasons they made up. Those reasons were not made up. If you had communicated with staff about that question I asked you weeks before you were banned, like Doom Joshua Boy did, they would have told you about this. Not to mention the fact that you were there when they brought this shit up in the server, but whatever. We're just going to pretend it's impossible for you to have seen that. And Pow Pink, you and I both know the staff don't need the consent of AK1 to make rules. Possibly because he responds once in the blue moon. Like Deuce just fucked up real badly and still tried to make me look bad cause I want to fuck Knack. What does that have to do with the topic at hand, bro? They don't hate you because you're a degenerate. Not just because of that. They hate you because you're an awful person who fucked over the entire staff and website. I'm familiar. The whole lollywall appearing pretty much at the time as the ban in an attempt to justify it.
You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong.
Okay. That was my clarification. After this video, I can finally get back to making pure Mugen content and have fun again. I mean, I had some fun making this video, but playing Mugen again would be nice. Before I end the video, after I recorded the past 39 minutes, that first segment, I came across some very disturbing information. A rat from Pow Pink's server gave me this screenshot. Pow Pink apparently took my Gmail and used it to subscribe to adult diaper sites. Now, that's actually not what happened. What she did is worse. She didn't just subscribe my email account to ABDL sites. She signed it up to various dating sites. I've counted at least 14 signups. At least 14 different websites. She's also changed my AK1 account password. She's also tried to log in to my Patreon account. Pow Pink, or should I call you Odette? Because the rat gave me some very interesting information about you. Odette, you have made a very big mistake thinking you were slick doing all this. Thinking you could get away with this. Listen, by the time the first viewers of this video hear this sentence, I have sent out a message on multiple social media websites about this. Twitter, Blue Sky, I'm sure something else, and AK1. If you at all think this is in any way justified, I would love to see what your user base says about it. I would love to see people defend any of this. This is an invasion of my privacy. I did not go to any of your accounts and reply to anything you have said. I never would have thought of signing your email account up to various dating sites, because I'm not insane. You know what else? Speaking of that rat, good luck finding them, by the way. About that rat, they also told me you lie about your ex's abuse. You lie about how your ex is abusive and all of that. I talked to him. You know what he said? He doesn't know what the fuck you're talking about. He doesn't know what you're talking about. He's had to deal with this kind of questioning about 5 times. You lie about people all the time because you're a malicious person. The people who don't believe that you're malicious don't give a fuck about this entire video. They don't care about any of this, and I don't care at this point. If they want to live in a different universe than us, then that's fine. But I'm in our current universe, where everybody can see that you are an insane, malicious piece of shit. If you really thought you could just fuck with me and get away with it, you've got another thing coming. I have other information I could out about you right now. But let's just say people other than me know about that information now. I'm not gonna out it to YouTube. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But I just want you to know all that. I hope you don't feel safe ever again. I think you should leave the internet. What you have done to me is harassment. This is blatant harassment. This is easily wrong. Easily wrong. You shouldn't have done this. And you know what? You did it anyway. Because you are fucking insane. And you need to go into a psych ward. Or an insane asylum. You need serious mental help. And if you're not gonna take it from me, fine. Fuck yourself over. Keep doing that. It's not my problem. It's not my problem anymore. It's done. I have all the information I could ever need. It's over. You want to keep fucking yourself over? Fine. Keep lying to people. Keep doing what you do. But I'm still gonna be here. And I'm still gonna be right about you. Completely. In the right. This has been Casip Sauce. I'll see you later.